All right, what's going on, beautiful people? It is, I almost said the North Shore 9 postgame show. It's not the North Shore 9 postgame show. It is Sicko Soundoff. I'm your host tonight. I'm Tyler. You guys might know me from the postgame shows from North Shore 9 Live. You might not know the entire background here, which I have to do some work on, naturally. And this has been a work in progress. But the Sicko Soundoff show every other Friday. We're coming at you with you guys just taking the lead from us, man. I'm excited. I get to sit back tonight. We got some good people joining in. We're just going to chat some Pirates. I'm going to let Jesus take the wheel. I've given a bunch of my opinions throughout this entire time, but we get to hear your guys' opinions. And you know what I forgot almost? The ad read. That's pretty important, isn't it? Give me one moment here. Let me pull the bad boy up. And again, Sicko Soundoff show every other Friday. And in between there, we're going to go ahead and do The Point, which, if you haven't tuned in yet to that, it's a very good show. But before we get into that, let me tell you guys about Bet Online. Basketball fans, it's that time of the year again. The NBA is back from opening tip-off to buzzer beaters. Bet Online has you covered with the best odds, biggest promotions, and live in-game betting on all your favorite teams. This season, every game matters. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, breakdown, and live odds to bet on during games. Also, love live betting. Been getting into that real hard during football season here. It's also just not the NBA. BetOnline has odds on everything from football to MLB playoffs, World Series starting up here, and I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit here today. NHL to political props. We're going to try to avoid that one. Head to our website today and get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here. BetOnline. I'd suggest using them. I mean, there's been some betting platforms that I don't agree with lately. So be sure to use BetOnline. Again, I'm Tyler. Sicko Soundoff. I think we need to just roll into this bad boy. One of our, I guess we could call them callers today, just so you don't have to see my entire background here. Let's start this bad boy up with our guy, Nola Jeffy.
How's it going?
How we doing tonight, my friend?
Fantastic.
You know what? You're my first Sicko Soundoff guest.
I guess that's
And I
an
appreciate
honor
you.
and a privilege.
Just talk to me, man. Like, vent your frustrations. I need it.
Well, I got a lot of frustrations, but one thing I wanted to add real quick that I thought of while and actually he just commented. I was going to say when you're making your bets on whatever platform, make sure to do Tyrese Halliburton props and send them to Murphy. He loves those.
You know, okay, are you and Cody Coleman related? Because I remember doing NS9 bets with Cody Coleman, and every single bet was Tyrese Halliburton, either rebounds or assists.
Well, it's funny because we'll always make comments about it because like every time like Halliburton's having a bad game, he's like, "Did you place any props?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." So for some reason, every time I put any kind of Halliburton props or any kind of Indiana Pacers props, those Pacers do terrible. So Murphy loves it.
Are you just like a Pacers fan here? Or are we just a
Me,
Tyrese fan?
no. Murphy is.
Okay, we're just riding that whole Tyrese train.
Yeah, I'm not even that big of a basketball fan as it is. So, but it's kind of fun to bet on. So.
You know, I got down a rabbit hole at one point in my life where I was betting on Rudy Gobert rebounds because the lines were just stupid. I could be 9.5 and he was just averaging 11. And this was maybe like 2 years ago. But that was the last time I've probably wagered on basketball.
No,
Seems like
I
there
mean,
are some good lines there.
generally, yeah. Sometimes, or sometimes I even like some of like the football bets I like to do. Especially, I generally like to do the rushing and receiving combined, just because randomly, like James Cook will run off a 70-yard reception, and it's like, well, that doesn't help my rushing prop bet. So
You know who my secret guy right now is? Jaleel McLaughlin, Broncos running back. If you're doing the rushing and receiving, it's not a. He's usually like in that 30-yard territory. Also, maybe I'm a little bit biased because he's a Youngstown State University graduate like myself, pulling a little gym here. But his number, it's usually pretty low, and I like to just dig in on that one a little bit.
well, that's what I unfortunately tried to do some Cooper Cup last night, which hurt me because Puka was getting all the yards. So
Yeah. So I guess this is a Pirates related show.
yeah, so we'll roll into that a little bit.
Yeah. Are you more of a minor league or a major league guy at this point?
Well, really, more of a minor league guy.
Yeah.
I'm obviously with Bucks on deck, pay a lot of attention to that, which I guess it's about time, we got another Bucks on deck voice. Murphy gets to have all the fun Monday mornings in season. But really, I think I've been following the minor leagues for quite a bit of time now, and with the major league team, I think the season with Kai Tom is when I kind of the major league team. I just got to a point where I was like, I can't be doing this day in and day out anymore.
Yeah. And the weird thing about you saying that is that was the exact time that North Shore United decided we're going to do this day in and day out. Because Kai Tom
Perfect
showed up
timing.
basically. And we're like, you know what? We should do a post-game show every day. Timeline-wise, that does kind of add up.
Yeah. Yeah, and
so you guys got in at a good time there.
Yeah, when that's at because even before that, I was following minor leagues a little bit more than usual. But even like these past few seasons, again, it's just something come like that middle of this season with the Pirates, or even near the trade deadline, where it's just there's too much going on in the day aside from throwing the game on while doing dishes, cooking dinner. But I'm just can't watch it as intently as I used to. It's just you always have that bad gut feeling. Runners on the corners, no outs. You're like, they're not going to score, and then strike out, ground, double play, and it's like, yep, that's what I'm used to by now.
Yeah, so like if you're watching, maybe I guess this might be a brain click for me, but in your instance where you're watching a lot more minor league baseball, you kind of get to be detached a little bit more. So maybe as a baseball fan, is that more enjoyable?
I think it's more enjoyable just because following the career path of like a minor league or a kid out of college, a kid out of high school, it's a little more what's the word I'm looking for? I guess as a fan, gratifying, you could say. Following a player all the way from like complex league into A ball as they move up the ladder, and seeing a guy like, even for me, like watching someone as intently as I did, like Blake Sable, just watching him right up through the minors and then mix it to the majors. And they obviously don't always pan out, but for a guy to even just make the majors is a huge deal. So it is kind of gratifying as a fan following the career path of a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm. So I guess how often do you get to just be like, I've been following that guy for a long time. I was one of the first ones on him. And how gratifying is that to just be like, I knew about that guy way before all you idiots did. And all of you guys are jumping on the train like a Charles McAdoo, where everybody jumped on at the last leg and then he gets traded. But there's got to be some guys in there where you're like, I knew about that guy a long time ago. Like, what are you guys talking about?
Well, yeah, we actually, especially, now that the farm system's been kind of dwindling a little bit, at least at the upper levels, like two of our big guys right now are like Alessandro Urcolani and Wilbur Dotel, who are starting to get a lot of, I think Dotel actually made the back end of Baseball America. And we're like, yeah, we've been following that dude for a while. And, Urcolani's one that we're real big on. So it is fun to start seeing names pop up on lists that, we've been trying to table pound for a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes it's just fun to be like, hey, I knew that guy way before you idiots did. It's like your
Right?
favorite band just like putting out a hit, and it's like, oh, you guys are idiots. Do
Now
you
they're
even know this song?
mainstream. Ugh.
Yeah. Charles McAdoo, gross.
Gets too
Like,
mainstream. You're like, I don't
yeah,
even like them
like,
anymore now.
yeah. Name 3 Nirvana songs.
Right? The funny
No,
part is, someone could ask me my favorite band and be like, name 3 songs. I'd be like, I know the beats. If it comes on the radio, I could sing the song. I mean, nobody wants to hear me sing, but I would know the lyrics.
and Cody, obviously, Cody from North Shore 9 jumped on the Charles McAdoo bandwagon as well. But do you
Yeah.
have any others? Just and it doesn't even have to be Pirates prospects that you follow throughout, or maybe guys you've picked up on while watching the Pirates from another team that you're like, that's a dude, and then it turned out that's a dude.
What, just from other teams?
Yeah, just in general.
Well, I know one big one that, we still, I don't know if he's going to become a dude in the majors, but I know like Trey Morgan was a guy that, I mean, especially living in Louisiana, I watched a lot playing at LSU. He actually went to high school right down the street from where I live, but oh man, these dogs are loud.
Love dogs. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, when we actually had some side note, Taylor Swift's in New Orleans this weekend, so this
It's getting wild.
city is packed, and we had some friends of Annabelle's, her friend's son and friend were coming into town, and everything was sold out. So they were like, "Hey, you mind if they stay at your house?" We're like, "Cool." So, yeah, so we got some people showed up, so the dogs are freaking out right now. But oh yeah. I mean, like as Murphy said, I love me some Trey Morgan. Hell, another guy I was always really big on. I still remember the very first combine they did. Edwin Arroyo, that dude, he looked so baller. And then Seattle picked him up, and obviously he had to get traded to the Reds, which kind of sucks. But he's healthy again, playing in the AFL. And I think the other day, his first game, he went like 4 for 5 or something. It's
Were you
big Arroyo fan, and Trey
since
Morgan.
you
I
are
love Trey Morgan.
well, since you're a NOLA guy, were you? And I can't remember this, and I'm sure you had your opinions out there. Were you a Cruiser Skenes guy? And don't lie, it's on the internet. We can find it.
Oh, I mean, well, I guess my mind was depends. It was a little contextual though, in that, and I told well, she like that could go in a whole nother direction, but I was a Cruise guy mainly because I mean, and you're seeing it now with how much pitching they have. They're endless pitching prospects, but no hitting prospects, and I'm like, that was one of my biggest points of contention was like they have no hitters in this system. So, hey, I love they pick scenes. I mean, still remember the first LSU game I watched him pitch. It was like, this guy's a dude. This dude's legit. But at the same time, I'm like, the last thing the Pirates need right now is pitching. So I don't hate that he's on the team, but they still have this huge, massive hole that they need to fill.
Hold on. Let's backtrack this one here. You don't hate that Paul Skenes is on the team.
Obviously.
I mean, I think we can go a little further than that. Like, he's pretty damn good.
Is he? He's kind of okay.
Yeah, I mean, he did a few things well.
Yeah, he might win Cy Young.
There's a decent chance he's better than Dylan Cruz. And hand up, there was a point where I was like, Dylan Cruz all day. We need hitters. This dude's going to blow his arm out. And that was me knocking on my table. Thank you. They made the right pick there, man. This dude's incredible. Like,
oh yeah.
How soon after seeing him were you like, this dude's incredible in the minor leagues?
Oh, well, and that's, I mean, yes, even past college, being like, this guy's a dude. I mean, I know one of our things we were kind of curious about going into his first full professional season was, all right, how legit is his command and control that they're grading out as plus elite, whatever. And his very first like Altoona game this year, it was like or not Altoona, Indy, and it was like, no, it's legit. It's 100% legit. Like as soon as I saw that the command and control was as advertised, I was like, no, he's
So
him.
you weren't one of those people that were like just pounding on that. Well, his fastball's dead zone.
I mean, I was a dead zone fastball talker.
You okay? But we've come full circle.
To be fair, technically, shape wise, it still falls in. It still falls in the dead zone parameters, but and I guess small putting out there. I mean, people can even go on Bucks on Deck and see some of the stuff I've written on this about that. While it is within the parameters of like a dead zone fastball, technically, there's still obviously things such as velocity and again, as just discussed, command. Like those two specific things can help mitigate a fastball that's considered dead zone. So if he maintains the velocity and command, I mean, plus you throw in all the other pitches he has, good luck.
Yeah, and obviously there I think the concerns were valid about the shape of the fastball, but I don't think everybody realized just how good the secondary stuff would become, because really it did
Right.
become really, really good. And
Yeah.
also I remember being on Starbucks one morning and I just made a joke about the dead zone fastball, and Murphy was like, "It is still dead zone, but he throws 102, so who cares?"
Right. Plus, he just in an off season was like, yeah, I'm gonna develop a splinker.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a pitch up.
Which great timing, Murphy.
Yeah, there he is. Does he always just steal your thunder?
Oh no, it's because he's jealous. He's still a Hudson Head. We still have our battle of Hudson Head and Sammy Siani, and Siani's balling out in the Arizona Fall League right now, while Hudson Head is still in A ball.
Maybe I'll just do a Thursday morning show and I'll invite you on, and we'll just have a better show.
I wouldn't want to show Murphy the ratings after that. He'd be upset.
Yeah, he'd be furious, and also Jim and Donardo would too. But like
probably.
And Donardo in here pointing out that we're still Hudson Head guys. I didn't really.
And then he'll probably point out that while he was in Greensboro, he overheard a scout mention about how Hudson Head should have been a guy, but a certain developmental system didn't get much out of him.
Huh. Well, maybe if Nola and Murphy were running the show, Hudson Head would be a dude. Instead, he's a pumpkin.
Maybe. Yeah. Which I do think it's kind of funny with how Siani's coming around. Because I think it was last year when Sal Frelick, or what, not last year, but 2023 when Sal Frelick was coming up. I forget who it specifically was. It might have been like Keith Law or someone talking about how, Frelick was a contact over power guy, clearly. And they actually specifically mentioned Sammy Siani should have probably followed a similar developmental path, and they kind of took that away from him. And you saw it in his swing coming up through the minors, where he just, kind of like when you watch Tamar right now, who just he sees the pitch he likes, he's trying to hit it 600 feet, Yeah. And Siani kind of toned that down, and it's his contacts up substantially and starting to pump through. So,
yeah, and just before we wrap up here, so you can get back to your normal life with the chaos you have going on around you with Taylor Swift. Naturally, Taylor Swift is just causing chaos everywhere. Talk just real quick. What are we seeing tomorrow right now? Where are we at with him?
Tomorrow, I mean, he's still a real young kid, but I think next year is going to be very. I think next year is going to be where we truly see what could be, in a sense, I guess. Plus, I mean, you got to take into effect the fact that they're going to be bringing in a new hitting coach, and we'll see how much that filters down through the system. Because he's another guy, I think Eric Longenhagen, I can't remember when he was with y'all, talking about how he essentially needs to probably choose who he wants to be. Does he want to be the 70 hit tool guy, or does he want to be a 30 home run hitter? Like, there's no in between with him. And I mean, obviously, the patience is there, the eye is there. That is 100% without a doubt there. It's just how much of one or the other between hit and power is going to come out. So I think next year should answer those questions better.
Sure hope so, because I think we're counting on him a little bit sooner than some people expect. I mean, I tend to believe that I want the hit total to come first. I think you can develop the power as we go because obviously it's there. I don't think there's a question. It's just let's get back to what got you here. It's not the power.
Right.
You're a hitter.
I will say, I mean,
good.
Yeah, I will say too, not so much from it's obviously going to have no bearings on the major league squad next year, but I actually am pretty excited to see where this system farm wise is going to be sitting come mid next year, end of next year. So
I don't see
even,
much.
even hitter wise. Hey, I mean, look,
you watch more than I do.
Is that, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, upper levels it's a black hole right now. But I mean, with all the prep kids they picked up, some of the complex level kids, it could look very interesting come next year. But upper levels, ugh.
I lied. One more question before you go. What's this love affair you had with Yu-Chang?
I knew he was going to bring that one up. No, just when Yu-Chang was with the Pirates, there was a period where he obviously wasn't hitting well, but he was hitting the shit out of the ball. He had something like a 90, 92 average exit velocity. And I was like, Yu-Chang's about to have a breakout. Obviously, he never did. And Murphy likes to hold that against me.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to do. That's the whole thing's been against Donardo and Jim. So, as they do to me. But I'm usually right, so they can't really hold anything against me.
Well, that's what I actually, for this year's Fanboy Awards, I'll speaking of him in screenshots, now thinking back, I should have posted it because I was going to take one of his tweets and put a screenshot as where he was very upset about trading Strickland for Joey Bart. And I was like, no, I like the trade. But he was like, I don't know about trading this A-ball pitcher who has yet to pitch a professional inning. So I was going to put that up for worst tweets.
Well, maybe we have a new co-host on Starbucks. Well, hey, before you get out of here, go ahead and plug your stuff. Make sure we go ahead and follow our guy, Nola Jeffy.
Yeah, at Nola Jeffy, NOLAJEFFY. Obviously, not that frequently, but, I'm a contributor on Bucks on Deck with Anthony Murphy. He's the head honcho. I help out over there. We got a lot of good stuff. So podcast that comes out every Tuesday morning generally. So a lot of minors talk.
Appreciate you joining
my leagues.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff there. You guys follow them way more in depth than most do. And you name one guy in the system, you guys know who it is. Pick a name, throw a dart. Yeah. You guys know.
One of us.
Appreciate you hopping on here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Appreciate that. And again, be tuned for the future Tyler and Jeffy show on
I'm
random
gonna,
weekend.
I'm gonna check the calendar and leave a slot open.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll just chat some minor league ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on. Go ahead and enjoy your Taylor Swift weekend.
I'm gonna be on the couch.
There you go. Thanks, man.
Later.
See ya. All right, that was Nola Jeffy. Go ahead and follow him on Twitter. A lot of good stuff. Him and Murphy both. And I'll have to go ahead and compliment Murphy as well. Does a great job on Starbucks. A lot of good information about minor league system there. Next on, this one's going to be a heck of a lot of fun, I think. It's my guy, Krabby Patty.
Hello, how are you? Where's Jim? I want Jim. Where's Jim?
Hey,
you're not Jim.
That's mean.
I'm just fucking with you.
You know what I was doing for you?
You just met.
And I know, but you know what I was going to do for you?
What? Nice. Cheers to
Cheers,
you.
buddy.
I love it. So
I
how are
was
you
waiting
tonight? What are
on
you
you.
doing? Besides this, what's up? Tell me some stuff. What are we doing? Let's go.
Oh, we're
What
chatting
energy
some
you got for me?
ball. We're
I
chatting
don't
some
have time.
ball.
You want to chat some ball?
Not really.
Okay,
we
well, let's chat
can.
about something else.
What else? Well, I mean, it is a pirate show. I kind of have to. But what do we got there? Like, we can start with the beer.
I'm drinking Iron City as usual. 'Cause
Iron
that's what
City.
I drink. Because I'm a shitty Yinzer who loves my crappy hometown beer.
Poor Nola. He got left out here.
Why? Oh, well, he's
Oh,
like
wow.
drinking bourbon or something down there.
Yeah, he's got Taylor Swift in town. He's probably drinking wine.
Tay-Tay. Awesome.
Tay-Tay.
Does he know her
Tay-Tay.
personally?
He might.
Fun fact for the viewing audience, and this is not a joke. I've never heard a Taylor Swift song like at all, like voluntarily, never in my life. I don't listen to terrestrial radio, and I haven't for years. I don't have a preteen daughter. My wife is a bit of a quiet type of academic quiet person, and I don't have cable. And so for years and years, like I listened to like the same 5 bands and the same like dumb crap over and over again. And like never, like I knew who she was, like generally speaking. Never, like if you played a Taylor Swift song right now, I'd be like, I don't know it. The only one I think I've heard on the radio, just like in a JC Penney or something, or Kohl's, is the one where it's like 22. I'm 22 something. Is that
I'm pretty sure like that would have been 9 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Well, actually, yeah, because I started it when I turned 22. I tweeted, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
Okay, so that's
and then the next year, nobody likes you when you're 23.
Is that the lyric, or did you make that part up?
Well, the next one was Blink-182.
Oh, okay.
You seemed like a Blink-182 guy. That's on me.
You know, honestly, I was, yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm more familiar with Blink-182 than I am Taylor Swift. Let's put it that way. They weren't my cup of tea, but they weren't, you know, like I didn't dislike them either. Just that kind of passed me. I had friends that were into it, but not me per se. Yeah. When you mentioned Nirvana before, I was a straight grunge guy, and I was old enough to have lived
grunge
through. I mean, I was a little bit younger, but still, I had firsthand memories of watching Nirvana in 1992 on the VMAs and all that. So that's when I picked up a guitar and started like rocking out in my basement. Was because I was like wanted to be Kurt Cobain. I still wear a flannel shirt. I'm partially being facetious, but like generally as a 10-year-old, that's what I wanted to do, was just rock out the guitar. Yeah, but by the time the end of the 90s happened, I was just like, Blink-182, cool. Although that album cover with the porn star with the the glove on, you're gonna pull crap off,
buddy.
Woohoo! Yeah, that made me feel a lot of.
That's teenage angst.
I mean, it wasn't angst.
Yeah.
It's that my brother. It wasn't that. No.
Yeah, I'm trying to just keep it PG around here.
PG. I know. Jim said I can't swear anymore because I hate me out. And I did listen to the last time I was on, because somebody was like, "Hey, I told them I was on this podcast," and they listened to it, and they were like, "Why do you sound like an idiot?" And I was like, "Oh, that's because he had to bleep out every word I said, because like so everything sounds like I am having a stroke." Over and like the whole show is me just having a stroke and Jim like nodding. Yeah, sounds good.
Well, for the record, Nick in here is asking if these beers give us hangovers. No.
I mean, Nick, I drink anything that was made on Earth by a brewer. That God put these ingredients here for me to drink. No, yes, this gives me a hangover if I drink 12 of them, which I won't. So I can drink quite a few of them and not get hungover.
You know what? This is a question that, and they can fire me from doing this show forever, because I'm just going to chat it up with you.
Oh, good. Let's get fired. Let's get you fired.
Hey, let's do it.
Screw it, man. We're going. The plane is going to hit the mountain.
Exactly. What age did you finally realize, you know what? I can't recover like I used
to. I don't think I'm there yet.
See, because I've had those days where I wake up and I'm like, ooh, I'm not bouncing back like I did.
Okay, so true story. Last weekend, I went out with a friend of mine who I grew up with here in Pittsburgh, who lives in London, England. He came here with a friend of his, who I met a couple times when he came to America, and they did a Penguins game, a West Virginia Mountaineers game, which is not my thing. Obviously, you can tell by my shirt, my hat. And then they went to the Steelers game. So on Friday, we went to Penguins versus Hurricanes. That's like the first time I've been out of the house in like 10 years. Excuse me. Pardon me, Spotify. And I drank like 15 beers, maybe like 12 beers. It was like a lot. And I have zero memory of getting home. And fun story. Apparently, I just got into a random Lyft, which was the first time I've ever taken an Uber or Lyft in my life, was to get out of there.
Me and you could be best friends.
Oh, maybe we are. Maybe that's the show.
Now, listen.
Nola, you seem like a great guy, but you're very erudite. You're very smart. You know things about baseball players, and I just don't. And this
Yeah, but you just use the big word. I don't use those.
All right, I guess I'm out. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you said I don't even know what the word
erudite?
was. Yeah, that. I don't know what that word means.
Like well-bred, well-spoken. Because he was talking about players. I'm just like, I don't care about 17-year-olds, but okay. Tell me more.
Well, I'd hope not.
But I never took an Uber before, unless their name is Charles McAdoo, which is like my all-time favorite baseball name. That and Sal Frelick.
That's a great name.
Those are 70s.
A great name too.
I know, right? Those are 70s like baseball. They're great.
You know what else was a great name?
What?
Duke Welker.
I mean, that guy sounds like he could both be a baseball player and the voice of Optimus Prime on a cartoon show.
It's a good name. It's a good name. I'm trying to think of something good.
To finish my story very quickly, and I'll move on. I'll pivot. We'll do a pivot. Got home, woke up the next morning. My wife was like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I said, "No, I'm like still drunk. I'm like way drunk." It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. I wake up. There's a kid in my bed. They're like, "Dad, let's get up. Let's go get like donuts or like let's do stuff." I was just like, no, I can't do anything. We're gonna be watching TV all day. Dad is on the couch." And it wasn't until about 3 or 4 in the afternoon where I finally had that moment of like, "Oh, okay, it's passing." And then I was like, "Oh, it's 5 o'clock. Should I drink a beer?"
I love that it gets back to,
yeah,
I can drink a beer again.
I was like, "Oh, okay, it's like beer time." And then my wife was like, maybe we could take a break tonight?" And I was like, yeah, you probably could.
I mean, I could.
One day. I took one day off. I'm back.
I mean, I could.
So yeah, I drink. Here's the problem too. If you drink beers at stadium prices, I mean, you kind of have to get hungover to forget that you spent money on stadium beers, right? Because you feel like an idiot.
Or you got to tailgate hard.
Well,
and
I know.
Speaking of, my alarm is already set for 5 a.m. tomorrow because I am going to Columbus and I will be tailgating the Ohio State game tomorrow.
Oh, so you're an Ohio State fan?
Yes, and I will be on the road at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
I have to pick up 2 people.
Okay.
On my way.
Okay.
Which will just be an adventure. But
who are they playing tomorrow?
Nebraska. It is. I'm not going to the game. I am going to tailgate, and who knows what happens after that.
Boy, what a classic Big Ten matchup that is. When
wow.
I think of Ohio State football, I think of Nebraska, don't you?
Yeah, naturally.
Like when I think of Pitt Panther football, I think of, man, we just played Cal. Yeah. Boy, that's a matchup for the ages right there.
Pitt Clemson, big rivalry.
I mean, at least Pitt Clemson's been going on for, enough years now where I at least have some context. But like some of these college matchups, it's like that first couple of years of interleague play when you were like in the 90s, when you were like, oh, the Mariners and Rockies. Wow. Okay. It's like nobody cared about these bizarre interleague matchups that were like matchup weekend.
But they need to find a way to make Pittsburgh, the Pirates, and Cleveland play every year. That has to be the interleague matchup. Nobody cares about the Tigers.
Are good and we are terrible.
Yeah, but I want to piss all over Cleveland every year of my life.
Yeah, but we're like the Browns of baseball. I think we should tread lightly with that.
You know what I like about that, though? Not that I like being the Browns of baseball. Every time a Browns fan comes up to me, like if I'm at a Steelers-Browns game, I've had this happen before where people will come up to me like, oh, it must be nice to spend your entire life rooting for a winner. I'm like, I'm a Pirates fan, dumb fuck. Ooh, there we go.
I've
Almost
actually
did the
had
bleep.
Yep, that's fine. I'm working real hard to be myself.
Almost had to.
Too many
Dumb
efforts.
fudge.
Although I'm going to probably get there. I have had that conversation with Browns fans numerous times. Just Clevelandites, like people who live in the Western PA, because there's not some overlap, right, for business or whatever. And they're like, man, you don't know what it's like to be a Browns fan. It's like, and I was like, dude, we are the same. We're the same person. Like, we should really be friends in a lot of ways. We're like kind of crappy Rust Belt cities in a lot of ways with terrible sports teams, and we have a lot of despair. Like, there's a lot in common here. Yes, I hate the Browns, and yes, you hate the Steelers, and I never want that to change. But on every other metric, we're kind of simpatico, right? Yeah. Especially Browns and Pirates, like they're the same team. They are the same team. Yeah, it's pathetic. It's sad.
Yeah, we do both employ terrible humans now too.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Are you talking about Ben Charrington?
Well, I was talking about Domingo Herman.
On the internet.
I'm gonna go downstairs and
yes,
my show now.
Go beat it, Crab Jr.
Oh, Crab Jr.
I'm having 15 minutes of fame.
See you, buddy.
Bye. He just like killed my mojo. What was I saying?
Well, we were discussing the words. Use my brain.
Oh, terrible people in the organization. Yes. Who's terrible in the Pirates organization?
Ronald Chapman, Domingo Herman, G1 Bay. Go down the list. They employ all bad people. Like all the people who have been suspended for certain things are on the Pirates.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not defending that, but like, yeah, we were also rooting for Ben Roethlisberger for a long time in Pittsburgh, and this is an unpopular take. And I've gotten.
We don't need to get down that rabbit hole.
So it's like the same thing. Like, I don't want to. If we're going to do one, let's do them all. And
well, I know, which is why whenever they got Deshaun Watson, I was like, thank God. I don't want to hear you guys say another word about Big Ben.
Yeah, it's just in my heart, though. It kind of like all these dudes are just some of these dudes.
Most of them are bad.
Look, I don't want to. I want to be tread lightly here. Deshaun Watson should not be employed in the NFL. There should be no defending or normalizing that type of sexual assault and all that. And without getting too far off topic, like that stuff is just so far beyond the pale that it just is hard to even like stomach. The stuff with Ben is to me on the same level. In fact, I dropped out of my Steeler fandom for a long part of that.
I don't blame you.
I just had a hard time with it. And honestly,
I do not blame you.
You know, the NFL is like the NFL. It's what it is.
There was a point where it was very hard to root for the Steelers.
It was. And he was not, God love you. If Ben Roethlisberger somehow watches this show, like, I'm sorry, dude. I don't know you, but like, it was hard to root for you with all the bullshit around you, man. You didn't make it easy for us at all. And you certainly didn't help yourself. Having said that, I mean, yeah, I'm not a big fan of rooting for the Pirates players who like G1 Bay can get fucked. Get him out of here. Who gives a shit about that guy? Like, who cares? He can't even do the thing we hope he can try to do. His job is to hit singles and run really fast to first base and maybe get on base and hopefully steal bases. He can't even do that. What is his whole purpose on this team if that isn't it? I don't understand Ben Charrington's need to hoard these really terrible fringy middle infielder guys.
Yeah, it's been a common theme of this show for a while where he's just collecting the worst hitting second baseman who he think possibly could play shortstop, but they can't. And then he moves them to the outfield where they can't do that either, and they still can't hit.
I mean, if you can't hit, look, if you can't hit, you can't hit. Like, moving you around the diamond isn't somehow going to miraculously make you figure out how to hit, in my opinion, anyway.
No, I'm with you.
Let me ask you a question, because I watch this show every once in a while, and you're always like, you're kind of like in there, quiet, like Donardo's doing his thing, and Jim
I'm usually the negative one.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are certainly more negative than Mr. Rosati, who's always like Mr. Positive, and God love him. I think he could take it. I'm going to clown him a bit.
You know what it is? Jim is more polished than me. Jim is very polished. Donardo is very polished. I just let him rip.
Okay, maybe. my point of this was I want to like get some more hatred out of you. Let's get some more hater out of you. Let's get you like really generationally hating. I want to know of the 2024, and let's just do from the Charrington era Pirates. Who are your most hated Pittsburgh Pirates? Like, who do you see come on the television and just go like, yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck him.
Of what year?
Any year. Pick any Charrington. Let's just make Charrington the demarcation.
We'll do Charrington?
Charrington, yeah, just the Charrington Times.
G1 Bay.
G1 Bay number 1. Okay.
Austin Hedges. Hate him. Hate him. Hate him.
Did you still hate him as a Cleveland Guardian?
I would hate G1 Bay no matter what.
No, I'm talking about Austin Hedges.
Oh, yeah. I hate him no matter what, too.
All right, number 3.
Let's throw some more guys out there. Aroldis Chapman, not a fan, but
yeah.
You know what? He was useful at least.
Don't like him because why? He was an ex-Yankee. He made a weird mom joke.
No, he's got some domestic violence things.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, and the domestic violence. Like we're all adding up. Like awkward dude, weird.
Don't like that. Okay, really don't like that.
Plus, he played for teams you probably hated.
Well, that too.
And he used to kill the Pirates.
Mainly, you know what? If you're a domestic violence guy, I don't want you. I've made that clear on here.
But, so let's take out the domestic violence.
Oh, Domingo Herman's up there too.
All right. So let's take out all like the actual.
I just named 3 of them.
Right.
So those 3 guys, throw them out the window.
All right. So of the normie Pirates, like the normals, like the guys that you could like who do you hate? Like who do you really hate?
Ooh. It's a good one.
Look at you excited. Your cheeks have a flush to them and everything.
No, like of the Charrington era. Because
quite a bit.
Really, if I'm going back to my hater sphere, Sean Rodriguez was the guy I
didn't like. That's funny. I actually thought
hated him.
He was still over, in my opinion. I'm sure Rosati is pulling up a number somewhere.
Hated him.
Reference.
When he left, I was so happy, and when he came back, I was so sad.
Remember when he hit the Gatorade? Canister, like he was like gonna like we're gonna get the team going. I'm gonna beat the hell out of this inanimate object, and that's gonna show everybody that they need to hit curveballs that they haven't been able to hit all year.
Hated that guy. But let's back to the Charrington era here. There's got to be some first basemen in here that I just could not.
Rowdy. How do you feel about Rowdy?
You know what? I despised everything about Rowdy. And if you watch, there's a point in this show where Rowdy Tellez came out and said that he talked to his dad and got back to his basics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what?
Yes. And was it sucking? Did dad tell you to suck harder? Because maybe he always sucked.
Well, he talked to dad and
dad
got him right. And that's when Rowdy took off. And that's when I was like, Rowdy might be back. Rowdy might be back.
I think I watched that show and was like, my dude, and don't say that.
Rowdy was kind of back there for a little bit.
Kind of back. I mean, you and I theoretically could be back, and we suck. That's the point.
I mean, like Backstreet's back.
Right, Backstreet's back, and they suck. Like Rowdy was never there to begin with.
We want to talk about some 90s bands. We do not trash NSYNC or Backstreet Boys or 98 Degrees or LFO.
Oh, wow. R.I.P. Rich Cronin.
Guy here.
R.I.P. Rich Cronin and that whole
the entire band.
Okay. But yeah, Rowdy Tellez sucked. So like, how do we feel about Hayes? What are you, a Hayes guy? Because I think you're a Hayes hater now. Are you not?
I probably lean hater.
Mm-hmm. Like, what do we have can I ask for a percentage?
I'd say it's more 60-40.
Ooh.
And it's more that I just hate his family. Like, I can't do it, man.
This is crab Discord energy.
Can you imagine being a coach of this guy and just hearing his family chirp you all day long?
I'm not on Twitter anymore because it sucks. But when I was, they were, look, your point is correct. They are extremely obnoxious. I can feel the hatred come through my computer screen right now. But if you were the dad, right?
I'll defend them all day.
Right. So do I blame the dad for doing dumbass dad energy shit? I really don't.
Nope.
But it doesn't make him any less obnoxious, right?
Nope.
So sure both things can be true, and he's very obnoxious. And I kind of agree with you. I was a big Hayes supporter in the chats, and I think I might be with you, man. I think I might be like, fuck that guy. Just fuck him.
I'm tired of it. Like, just be good or don't. Figure it out, man. Hit the baseball.
Just be good or don't.
Will
It's so
like,
basic.
just
You suck. Like, how did you not be good? Why are you not good at things?
you know what, Brian? Do me a favor.
Mhm.
Don't listen to your father or brother on hitting. Listen to somebody else.
Mhm.
'Cause
Yeah.
what's
I-
gotten you here? It got you here,
Okay.
but it ain't working.
Right. So we're down on Hayes.
So
The
maybe
Hayes
we
stock
just
dropped.
find someone else to teach us how to hit. Now,
Okay.
granted, there's a little gray area in there where he said, she said of Nunnally and all this stuff. Don't care.
That
Deal
Nunnally
with
thing is strange to me. It's like, on one hand, there should be like the ability for anybody in the organization to help out anyone on the major league team. The swing is loopy and he hasn't adjusted. I mean, maybe he just either be good or don't be good.
Be good or don't.
Right?
Don't care.
It's not hard. Either hit the ball or don't. Yeah, I am too.
Either be a defensive replacement or be a good baseball player. Figure it out.
The day, how about this? The day that I was like back in July, Jim was on the show. You guys were doing your thing, and I was watching. I was like cutting grass or something, and he was like, "Everybody, the guy is really bad on defense." That's my best Jim voice. Sorry, Jim. It's not really sound like you at all. He was like, "Everybody, the guy's really bad on defense. It's like a -9 DRS." And I think you were like, "That can't be right." And you could see Jim like doing like the hacker things.
Yep. Oh, Jim's typing away during these shows, and I'm just sitting here like, I got nothing.
He's like, give me a Hot Pocket and some Monster Energy drinks. I'll get you every number you need. Right? Boom. He's giving you numbers, and you're sitting there like, huh, it's really that bad, is it? You're sitting there like, it is bad, Jim. So, and then the next day, there's two of us in the chat that are always talking. OG, Ogminlo, and me. We're like, hey, everybody. Hayes is bad defensively, and nobody would believe it. And it's because it's hard to believe because we've been told that this guy's a defensive guru. And, 9 times out of 10, it looks like he's being good defensively, but the numbers say he isn't. So if you can't hit and you're not good defensively, then why are you here?
Yeah. And
so I'm out on Hayes. Who else do you hate? Hate? And if you hate their families, that's awesome too. Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, like, their families are so annoying.
It is very annoying when like how Mahomes' is like little brother like injects himself and everything. It's
and
like
it's the same thing with
brother. Verlander's brother does it too. It's like, we get that your brother is like a Hall of Fame athlete and you have to be related to him and you get none of that. I understand that hurts your ego. And I would be sad. I'd be a sad baby too if I don't have a brother, but if I had a brother and he was fantastic at something and I was just sitting here like, that's my brother. Like, it's hard. I get it. It's hard. So you want to get in there somewhere, but like, just do your own thing because you're being weird and obnoxious right now. So who else?
Dude, if I had a famous brother, I'd be sitting there scratching my butt, just like living in the house he bought me.
Yeah, like
just
Fredo.
live my own life.
Like Michael killed Fredo because Fredo couldn't just hang out and run the nightclub. And
that's
Michael
all I want.
Right.
Let me just live my life.
Fredo.
Don't care. I don't need anything. Just
Fredo
pay for my house, pay for my bills. I'm good.
Right. Fredo and Godfather 2 is like, Mikey, I'm the big brother, I'm smart. And Michael's like, you're dead to me. Like, I would have been like, Michael, I'm stupid. I'm a dumb crap.
No, I'm dumb. I can't do anything. Give me money.
Just give me money. Right.
Like,
that's what
you're probably not a Parks and Rec guy, but
I am.
Okay. Well, money, please. That would be me.
My favorite Parks and Rec bit is when they do like a council meeting when Leslie Knope's on council, like in season 8, and some woman comes up to Leslie Knope and is like, I found a ham sandwich in the park and I ate it and got sick. What are you going to do about it?
I love that show.
Every time, every single time. And then that episode, whenever Ron and April tell everybody to come back on like March 32nd or something. I forget the bit, but it's something ridiculous. And then everybody comes back on that day.
You know what's still my favorite thing ever is whenever Genuine Pony comes on about Sebastian.
Oh, that song. I still love that song to this day. Yeah. Little Sebastian.
I used to go to the brewery and there was one singer that he played a country version of Pony. And he'd be like 2 songs and I'd be like, is it too early for Pony?
You'd be like, no, I'm like 10 beers in, give me Pony.
He'd respond every time. It's never too early for Pony.
Yeah.
Like,
Treat
love
yourself.
it.
Treat yourself, my dude.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Yeah.
Love
And
it.
so we never answered. So who else? I gotta
Oh,
keep you.
yeah, we're
I'm the
back to
host
that.
now. I'm the host now. You're the
Yeah.
guest.
Yes.
Who else do you hate? We
Oh,
have Hayes. We had Rodriguez.
Yeah, not a Bailey Falter guy, but I appreciate what he did. I can't hate him like I did before.
Yeah, it's hard to hate him. Actually, it's hard to hate him. I like him. Kind of like root for him.
Honestly, I don't think anybody. I don't know if anybody was on Twitter with Jamal back in the day when Jamal was on Twitter. But
Jamal?
I had a conversation with Jamal at the ballpark this year.
Who is Jamal? Who is this person? What are you talking about? Give me context.
Back in the day, Jamal, Evil Neil, like we had a little crew there in Twitter.
Oh, yes, I followed some of those guys.
Yes. Yeah. And Jamal was one of the guys, and he got off Twitter. He used to be an usher with the Pirates.
Oh, cool.
Ran into him at the ballpark this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we chatted about the Pirates a little bit. And I said, you know what? I'm looking around here, and I don't actually hate that many of these guys. They just stink.
Oh, I hate them. Oh,
They're just bad.
Oh, I hate Jared Triolo. I hate that guy.
I like him still.
Oh,
like
I just
guys like that. Like, you know, I don't have that hate. They don't have that hateability to me.
Okay. I hate him because he's a bad baseball player.
But
it's
there
not
were
about
certain guys that like there was extenuating circumstances with them where I didn't like them. Like Sean Rodriguez, where Clint Hurdle loved him. So it made me hate him.
Right. Yeah.
They don't have those guys now.
I mean, Rowdy. I thought Rowdy was that guy to me.
He was until everybody else hated him, and I'm like, now I'm starting to like him. Like it's the exact
That's
opposite.
how you became a Backstreet Boys fan.
Exactly, and now we're like with David Bednar, and I'm like, I kind of don't like that guy now.
I don't like Bednar just because I hate this idea that we have. I hate as a Yinzer, like a Pittsburgh idiot guy.
Yeah,
and this is my tribe. These are my tribe. This is my tribe. All right, so I'm going to speak freely about my tribe. What I dislike the most is like we always have to be like, you know, them guys gotta get down there and get down one stat to beat AD. You know, like they just don't know how to like hit them hard down there.
You know, like they need fire Tomlin.
Right. They gotta get rid of that Tomlinson. I don't understand why they just like he only won with Cowher's guys. Like I hate this idea that we have to have a Pittsburgh guy, you know, at every level of every enterprise here to be successful. And so the fact that David Bednar is from like Moon or something and drinks Iron Sea, like I'm sure he's a cool dude. And I probably walked past him at Target once and didn't know who he was. But I just dislike that he's like Yinzer, like he gets him hard. He gets everybody so hard. Like I'm just like the guy's not that good. He is not, he's the piece of a rebuild that's largely failed. He's not even that great.
He was good. He was really good.
No, I don't care. Give me every number and I'm going to throw it out the window. Nope.
I mean, he was like a top 5 reliever in baseball.
I watched like Mike Williams. Was it Mike Williams in 01 or 02 become an all-star? It means nothing.
But he had a 5 ERA.
Yes, but all-stars mean nothing to me after that.
No, but like David Bednar was like 3 earned runs better than him.
Don't care.
I mean, David Bednar was pretty darn good. It's just he's not anymore. They kind of get chubby.
Okay. All right. You're correct. It's from too many Iron Cities.
Yeah.
He drank 15 Iron Cities and missed his Uber like me.
I mean, like we're friends with Neil Walker. Like he's been on the show.
On your show.
He's been on North Shore 9.
Did you touch Neil Walker? Like that episode of when Cartman on South Park is like, I saw Terrence and Philip. Who wants to touch me? Kids come up and touch
me and my guy Neil Walker.
Is that you? No, you didn't.
Neil Walker, great guy.
So which hand did Neil touch? Did you ever wash that hand?
Still smelling it. But Neil Walker, great guy. He actually is. Cool dude, yeah. He's a fantastic guy. Yeah. Very, very professional.
And he said to you, my guy, Bednar, what is with the chub? Did he say that to you behind the scenes?
No, he did not. But he winked to get back to my original
his
point.
His eyes winked it in Morse code.
If I can get to my point, Neil Walker at that point, there were times where I was like, Bill, I'm kind of getting annoyed by this entire like he's from here thing. Mm-hmm. That gets exhausting. Like it, and again, Steeler fans, Kenny Pickett, like we saw it just recently.
But Kenny Pickett wasn't from here though.
Well, but the Pitt connection, the Pittsburgh connection.
Yes.
people around Pittsburgh just cling to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
do.
we see it with coaching staffs like Donnie Kelly.
I know, from Mount Lebanon.
Like,
Did you know who's from Mount Lebanon?
do we
He's
have
married.
to hire
You know who he's-
everyone that's from around here?
And do you know who he's married to?
Yeah.
The very lovely Neil Walker, whose hand you
Yeah.
touched. Your hand is technically Donnie Kelly's brother in hand law right now.
Oh, yeah.
Hand and
Hey,
brother-in-law.
You know
You're
what?
related to
You
Donnie
know
Kelly.
what? I should be the next manager then.
You're a fucking Yinzer celebrity right now, bro.
I should be the next manager.
You should be. They should make you the manager for sure. But yes, it's
All right.
very obnoxious that Donnie Kelly, I love Yinzers. I love this tribe. I'm never leaving this town. But every time someone says, man, Mark Cuban should buy that team, Michael Keaton said that the Pirates are stinky. Like, I just get annoyed. It's just
Pat
annoying.
McAfee says Bob Nutting should sell a team.
What is your take on the current, as a hater? Can we do a haters podcast and do a hater hour?
Oh, why not?
Sure. And I'm just injecting myself everywhere. You can't get rid of me now. I'm
Why
like a
not?
disease. What is your take on the current protests?
Do what you want. I mean, I don't think it's going anywhere, but if it makes you feel better, have fun.
Okay. That's
That's
fair.
it. Like,
Did you read the guy's letter? Like the Gabe guy wrote the letter?
No, I have better
No.
things to do.
Ooh, saucy. What if he's watching right now? You gonna look him in the
Yeah,
eye
I
and be
have
like,
I mean, again, good for
in
you.
the queue after me? Is
I
he
mean, like,
here?
He might be. I don't know, but I got better stuff. I got better stuff to do.
I largely just think it's like weird energy. It's not weird. Okay, it's
It's
well
not weird.
intentioned.
Like,
It's well intentioned.
yeah, it's a good heart.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to make sure I say the right thing because it's not a gay. I don't hate those. I'm not saying those people are stupid or anything. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just thinking to myself that like it'd be like protesting McDonald's or protesting Starbucks. I mean, you could protest these like large corporations or these large entities as long as it doesn't matter if they're not going to do it. So I mean, Bob Nutting, in Bob's mind, Bob thinks he's doing a great job. Like, I think I'm doing a great job right now, and I'm bombing, right? I suck.
Well, hey, Mike, we're an hour into this bad boy, and I thought I was going to be out of here in like 40 minutes. And
Oh, do you
I
gotta
still
go?
got one more person to rock on with.
Oh my God. All right.
So,
Just to summarize, keep protesting, but please don't, it ain't going anywhere, my God.
yeah, don't spend more time than you have to.
Again, the letter that Gabe from Forest Hills wrote should be, Dear Ben Charrington, how dare you? Why are you?
How dare you?
I have one question. How dare you?
We're going to have a great podcast one day. I'm just
Anyway.
playing a podcast with everyone now. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay, well, this was fantastic.
Hey, you enjoy the rest of your night. I
Yeah, my
got one
son's
more to
watching
get to.
Iron
and
Man downstairs. I'm going to go watch Iron Man 2, I think.
There you go.
Pretty
Appreciate
good.
you hopping on.
Okay, cheers, Yinzers. I love
Cheers
you.
again.
Peace.
Peace. All right, old Krabby Patty had a lot to say. We got one more in here, and it's going to be from Bretsky. And this one's going to be a little bit more simple, but let me find it here. He's got some questions for us, and let me roll with that now.
Hey guys, it's Bretsky. Appreciate you guys letting me be on episode number 2 of Sicko Soundoff. Sorry I can't be there when it's live. I'm actually in a wedding today, so congrats Katie and Nate. Had some couple of questions that I wanted to run past tonight. They aren't as entertaining, at least I don't think they might be. Maybe they'll bring a laugh or two, as the Duolingo Owl and Elon Musk owning the Pirates. But I wanted to kind of dive right on into it. Quick little game of Fuck, Marry, Kill, or as I like to say, keep them on the 40-man roster, give them a spring trading invite, or put them on the 26-man opening day roster, or DFA them, get them off the team. 3 choices here: Ji-Wan Bae, Matt Gorski, and Alika Williams. My thoughts are you have to kind of just move on from Ji-Wan Bae. Don't think he is a fit, can be created in the aggregate elsewhere, and unless we start doing an pinch runner rule where you have that 27th man that just kind of runs all the time, that's his only real fit. We're gonna let Matt Gorski take a shot here for the opening day roster. Maybe he's a fit, maybe he's not, but at least you kind of got to see. We know what we have in G1 Bay and Alika Williams. And then for Alika Williams, maybe he just makes a 26-man roster because he's got really good defense. Second question here, rather, is of the potential relievers that are going to be free agents this coming off season, who is the most likely NRI for the Pirates, and why is it Shintaro Fujinami? I say that with a serious face, mainly because I saw an article the other day about MLB trade rumors and him being potentially non-tendered by the Mets and spending most of the year in AAA, and he kind of fits the bill for a potential Pirate next year. And I say that mainly because most of the bottom of the barrel options that are listed on Sport Track are either former Pirates or current Pirates from this past year. So as depressing as that is, Tyler, who are your picks to be that NRI that comes off as a reliever? And you're going to have to do a little bit of searching because you're going to have to try and find a non-Pirate or potential former Pirate. And trust me, there's a lot at the bottom of that list. And then third question there is going to be, what is your random Pirates lore kind of story that you have, like any interaction that you've had with a former Pittsburgh Pirate that's kind of just random and weird? Mine personally is that I was the ring bearer in David Williams, former Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher. I was the ring bearer in his cousin's wedding, and then 2 years later met him after a Pirates game. And then he took my family, myself, obviously my family, and then his cousin and his cousin's husband out for dinner at an Olive Garden in Monroeville. So I've also gone to dinner with a Pittsburgh Pirates player before at an Olive Garden. So wondering if you have any of those weird stories like I might, because I tell them all the time in the NS9 Discord. If you're not a member, you should definitely hop in. It is a fun time. Other than that, hope it was a good Sicko Soundoff. Hope I probably going to be going up after Crab here, so hopefully I can kind of keep the energy going here, because I know he will. So that's all I got here, and have a good night, guys.
Whew. Gretzky came with the heat, didn't he? I guess we'll start with the Pirates lore part of it. And honestly, I don't have a really good Pirates story of meeting guys or hanging out with guys, but just in general, just a random thought that I had about this entire situation of former Pirates. And mainly, I think this came from last week's or 2 weeks ago episode. I believe Jim, and I don't remember who he was on with at that point, he mentioned Rob Makoviak. I just remember my father being a very big Rob Makoviak fan for a reason that I don't know. And then all of a sudden, my father was not a Rob Makoviak fan. And it was because there was some sort of article somewhere, I think in either the Post-Gazette, whatever it was, where I think Rob Makoviak just told a joke about not liking short people. Obviously, if you've ever seen the photo of me, not a tall person. I get that naturally. Dad's not a big guy either. Dad still doesn't like Rob Makoviak to this day because of that. So I guess that would be kind of a story there. Rob Makoviak, if I ever bring him up to my father again, it's, that's the guy that doesn't like short people, so I don't like him. Dad takes things personally. So naturally, you see where I get that. In terms of non-roster invites, I mean, that's going to be a tough one. I don't know if I really have a true answer to that one at this point. And he told me I have to do some digging. Hand up. I didn't do much digging on that one. I think that's one I'm going to have to take a pink slip on that one. I don't know. I'm sorry. That's on me. I don't know that one. But the screw, I'm going to try to be polite here with the wording. Mary Kill. And I believe it was a G1 Bay who was obviously getting killed. I already went through that one with my guy, Krabby Patty. Alika Williams. I think the other one was Jared Triolo, if I'm remembering correctly. A lot of questions in a row. Believe it was Jared Triolo. I know that I am going to go ahead and killing G1 Alika Williams, I'll go ahead and Gorski. Thank you, Peter. Gorski, my word. I got the Triolo in my brain. Gorski, I'll go ahead and So G1 is obviously over here. Toss him out. You know what? I'll go ahead and marry Alika Williams because I know he has a major league career. Gorski, we'll have fun with him. I think that answers the question. All right, I've already let this thing go way too long tonight. We appreciate you guys tuning into the Sicko Soundoff. I'm sorry, Bretsky, I could not answer that NRI question. I don't have it. I don't know. I'm sure I can come up with someone, but not off the top of my head. That's a tough one. Sure, there's going to be plenty that pop up. But hey, I appreciate all you guys hanging out here. Everybody that tuned into it, everybody that joined. Love you guys. Be sure to tune in next week. We have NS9 Live Friday. We're going to do another The Point. A lot of stuff coming at you guys. So let me get you guys out of here. Again, I let this thing run. But good conversation from everyone. So appreciate all of you. Stuck around. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.